Good morning. Right, so today I'm looking at fixing this fence. So this is just an access path that goes behind the cottages here. But apparently we're supposed to maintain the walkway here. So as you can see, the fence, some of these posts are solid still, some of those have just completely rotten. But yeah, the plan is just to put a new line of fence posts in to reattach those boards to. Now unfortunately I've got half round posts. Now, I don't like half round posts because you've got this nice flat side, which if they hammer into nice soft soil like that, then it's absolutely fine. Got nice flat surface to fix to. Unfortunately I know that this is full of cement and bricks and all horrible stuff, in which case it usually ends up twisting like that, so it's a pain in the backside. So I'll give it a go, put it in that way first of all. If I find they twist too much, I'll just resort to putting them around the other way and fix them to the round side. But yeah, let's see how that goes. So that was quite scary how easy that was. I've got them in a reasonably good line. Unfortunately I've come in further than I wanted to. But this front edge here is slipping away slightly, so I'd rather be in slightly. It still gives decent width of access along here anyway. So yeah, I'm now going to move the rails from here onto those. Right. Okay, so I'm just down to this last little bit down here. It is going amazingly easy at the moment. So I didn't quite line this post up because I'm going to shift that post over. So I've just got to cut this, take those off of there and screw them to that. Right. Okay, so I've just tidied that up, got rid of the old posts that were along there. I've used one of the old boards as a gravel board just along the bottom there. Doesn't really need it, but the old posts were actually being held up by bars that were tying them together. So an extra point of contact is always better. I was just looking at how to tie it into the old fence I like that's along here. I was thinking, if I lower those posts down to the same height, that might look good. Then I'm looking and going, well, that post snapped and that's been repaired. That post snapped and needs replacing anyway. That one snapped and got a post either side of it to support it, and even then the screws were snapped on that. So I'm thinking I might just carry on. I've not got any more posts. I'm hoping I can pull these old ones out and reuse them. I might regret this. We'll see. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now. So this corner post has been a bit of a pain in the backside. So underneath here you've got a fabric. It used to be a gravel path. The grass has then grown over the top of the gravel. But you've got the black plastic there, which is underneath all the gravel here. So that's making it slide slightly. This post was also concreted in at some point, so I'm then hitting the concrete of it. So my plan is to move the post over here, and I'm just going to have to screw the boards to each other, and hopefully that's strong enough. If it's not, then I'll have to put another post in the other side of it instead. But yeah, right, let's get this one in over there instead. It doesn't help that this post is a little bit blunt as well, because not only is this me trying to reuse the post that was already here, it was clearly reused before that, because it's got U-nails in the back of it. So when it went into here, it was already a second-hand post. It's still strong, but just not as pointy, so right. Okay, so just to quickly work out what I was doing there. This post here, well, this rail here and this rail here are different lengths. So, although the post at the top here would be long enough to touch it, the one in the middle here is just a little bit too short. So I've decided I will put an extra post in here, but unfortunately we've run out of posts. So I'm reusing this old one, so it's still got nails and things on it. But it should be fine for what I'm doing here. So we'll get that in there and we'll get this finished off. Okay, so there you go. So I've put an extra piece of wood on here, just because although that post there and that post there are supporting it, it just helps tie the two together, and then being on an angle that really strengthens that up on that corner there. Yeah, so as we come down here now, it looks a lot better, a lot straighter, considering I was putting the posts in by hand, and the ground's not the best. I did a reasonable job there. Obviously you have got some bows like this, but I don't know how much of that is the post and how much of that is the boards that I've put back on were warped from where they've been pulled over for so long. But yeah, because there's a slight height difference between the grass here and the edge of that bank, I've just moved this end further in, because you can see what's happening on this fence here. They've got loose gravel there, and all the weight is pushing up against the fence. So the fence itself is solid, but that's just slowly pushed that whole fence over. So with this one here, we've now no longer got the path pushing up against it. It's secured down. Those posts go down possibly about 2 foot, at least 1.5 foot. I've put the gravel board on there. It's not really doing anything, but it does give a nice neat line to the fence. So yeah, I've got to say, considering the materials I had to work with and the tools I had to work with, I think it looks alright. But yeah, not bad for half a day's work. So, right, I shall go and find something else to do now. But yeah, I'll see you later.